Hello, welcome back to my channel. Actually on a Wednesday, for once, this show. We call it Whining Wednesday, and it's never on Wednesday, except for today. Today is Wednesday. We can whine about it not being on Wednesday, but not today. DOKU is what we wanted to whine about, but it's a bit too early for that. I like to take a detour. Sherky, Marmouche didn't start. I didn't have a particular problem with either of that, to be honest. John Stones and Diaz centre back partnership. Now there I had a bit more of a problem. What did you think about that?
Well, because they were a center back partnership, I can whine about Joško being a left back because I don't think he was particularly good at that yesterday. He was okay in the first half, but he did not look right in the second half. He kept giving the ball away, and I was like, this is why he's a center back. I thought we were done with Joško being a left back. Like, what are we doing here? I was a little annoyed with that. But, I mean, I thought John Stones had a really good game. He found the trouble, Pep went to the trouble shape, and that highlighted John Stones' skill set, and he kind of rolled back the clock. I'm just going to take it for what it was as a one-off game, but, I figure credit where it's due because it was a very good game, very good performance. If we're gonna, if we have anything really to whine about yesterday, it's because I think a couple of players should have come off before they did. I would have emptied the benches slightly sooner. Particularly Erling Haaland, who actually kind of looked tired in the game for once. And I know he came off, but it was like the 85th minute. Like, okay, so he gets 5 minutes of rest. Yay! Like, at some point, you got to start. You got to start bringing him off in the 60th minute, give him some actual significant rest. And I would even say maybe Bernardo Silva could have come off the pitch sooner, not because he was having a bad game or anything. It's just because I think he's going to start at Villa on Sunday. And so I would prefer that he just gets a little more rest because, he's getting up there in age. So the more rest we can give him, the fresher he'll be. And you want him for those big away games. So I would prefer to stay a little fresher. But
yeah, I don't think we need to be taking Haaland off at a 2-0 because 2-0 can quickly turn. We've seen that last season.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't particularly think we need to take off Haaland at a 2-0. We'll talk about substitutes in a second. No worries about that. But I want to stick with the centre-back partnership for a bit because I don't like that. Gvardiol on left-back, I just don't like that. You're not dressing Gvardiol. If you're not dressing Gvardiol, he should play as a centre-back. I don't think Stones is good at all. I think he's washed. His passing is not that great anymore. Running back, he's slow. Defending, he's lethargic. But he's not the excuse. When we concede goals, it's Diaz's fault, not Stones' fault. I think Stones has been meh this season. Add on top of that, he's always injured. And I'm like, why are we shoving Joško out wide to play this guy? I don't get that.
Yeah, it is frustrating. I thought, like I said, I thought we were done with that. That's why we have Ait-Nouri. And I get you on Nico O'Reilly, but I just don't think that's the answer, is like making Joško play center back or left back, because he just did not look comfortable. And we're trying to give him more rest, and then you ask him to, like, he didn't play against Everton because he was tired, and then you make him play a more demanding role as a left back where he has to go up and down the pitch, and it's just like, that's not really, that just seems counterintuitive to giving him more rest. And I don't know. You could have just
you could have just
throw
played
Ait-Nouri in there. Why not? Just put Ait-Nouri in there.
By the way, he didn't even get substituted off. He played the full game.
Yeah, they all did. All the defenders did. I don't think none of them got subbed off.
Yeah, none of them.
Yeah, for the John Stones thing though, like, yeah, I would agree. I think that he definitely is. I think most of his performances have been pretty average this season, but this particular performance was better, I thought, than anything else he had done all season. So maybe he's gaining some fitness. Maybe that run of games with England is helping him gain his fitness and improving his quality. I say just kind of you got to play we know it's not going to last. Like we know it's coming. We know it's coming. We got an international break coming up, so you might as well get some minutes into his leg and give some other players some rest now, because they're going to be playing every game when John Stones inevitably gets injured. And I think Stones has looked a lot better than Ake. Ake looks very slow right now. I was not particularly impressed with him at the Everton game. And I feel bad because I think Ake has been one of our best pure defenders, I think, over the years.
But
He just doesn't look good right now.
Though, I feel like we're reinventing the wheel a little bit here. We know what works. It's Gvardiol and it's it's Gvardiol and it's Diaz. That works. So against Everton, Ake, Diaz. Okay, he's stressing Josko. But then when you're not stressing Josko, it's still Diaz and someone else. Why are we trying to experiment with new centre-back partnerships when we know what works? If you're resting Josko, that's fine. But this is not resting Josko. You're playing him, and you're forcing him out wide. That makes no sense.
It's a more demanding position, yeah.
Also, I'm not sure if it's a more demanding position against Villarreal because they didn't counter much, they didn't do much. So I think this game specifically, maybe it's not the most demanding role in this game. But it's still, if you're not resting him, play him as a centre back. That's what I think.
Yeah, also, one thing we should also note about the Diaz-Stones partnership is, one thing I don't like about it is it forces Diaz to play the left center back, and I don't think he's as strong there. I think he's much better as the right-sided center back. Because that's what makes the Diaz-Joško partnership work so well, is that Joško plays at his best position, Diaz plays in his best position. And so when you put John Stones in there, you have to push everyone else out of position. So you can accommodate John Stones, but then everybody else kind of, has a step down. And that aspect is a little frustrating. But I don't think it'll happen in every game. Like I think we will go back to the right formula in the Premier League against Aston Villa. I think it will be. I think Nico O'Reilly will go back to left back, and then it'll be Diaz and Joško, and then it'll still be Mateus Nunes because he's been performing quite well too. I've been very skeptical of him, but I think he's had two strong games in a row, and the biggest thing is he's not making the bozos that laid the goals.
Yeah, but who has he had strong games against?
Still, I think these are the games you use him for. Like I'm not going to play like when we go to the Bernabeu in a couple of weeks. I'm not playing Nunes in that game. I'm playing Husanov. But Husanov's not healthy right now, so you kind of have to play Nunes. But I think Nunes has his uses. He has his uses against the low block, so that's why he works so well against Everton, because his contribution going forward really helps unlock a low block or a mid block. Kusanov can't really do that, but you want Kusanov in like the more tighter games against pacey wingers okay, we got Liverpool coming up, so that's going to be Cody Gakpo. I know he's not like super elite, but he has scored a lot of goals for Liverpool, and then there's Vinicius Jr. coming up. There's a lot of these big pacey wingers that you're going to want Husanov for, but he can't play every game. So play Nunes against like the weaker opponents, and particularly against the low block when he can help unlock it.
Yeah, and sure, that's fine, but I'm fine with that. But again, there are people who are going to say, "Oh, Nunez is playing well. He's the right back option until January." That's what a lot of people, I think, do. But now he's playing fine against very average opposition. Buchanan played as left winger for Villarreal. Now Buchanan is a left back, so it's not like he particularly had great.
Decent for Canada. I've only seen him against Canada or for Canada, like. Because my country plays Canada a lot. He's actually pretty decent for them.
Sure, but he's not a great left winger.
No, but would you rather, not that he's available right now, but in theory, if Husanov was healthy, are you going to play him or are you going to play Nunes in this game, in this part?
Are you asking if I play Husanov in this game? Yes.
Yeah, if Husanov was available, would you have started him?
If Husanov was available, I'd probably have played him, to be honest.
Okay.
Again, it depends. If you're playing 5 games in a row, then it's like, okay, this is a shitty game. Here you can maybe rest, but it really depends on game to game. But if you're resting players, don't play them in a different position like with Gvardiol.
Yeah, the Gvardiol thing, and that has to be his last game at left back this season, unless we have already, because you can't have even played Ake there.
Yeah, it's Nuri. Nuri could have come on.
He could have started Ake and brought Nuri on. That would have been a decent, because if we are doing the treble formation, like Nathan Ake was a left back in that treble formation, so he knows what to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he excelled in it too. He was great in that treble season as a left back, a position he learned on the fly. So yeah, he could have done that. That's annoying.
By the way, Bilbao is drawing Karabakh. That's not very surprising. Karabakh has a pretty good team.
A powerhouse, a Baku, Azerbaijani powerhouse.
They're massive. They've won like 6 league titles in a row or something. Haaland was gaze out into 30 minutes. That is a big worry sign.
Yeah, he's played a lot of football lately. It's just annoying because we have a really tough stretch coming up. He'll get to rest against Swansea, but like he's gonna have to play all these Premier League games because we have Villa, then we have Bournemouth, and we have Liverpool, and then Newcastle. Those are all very tough games. He's gonna have to play all those games.
Yeah, he's gonna have to play a lot of games. And who scores goals if it's not Haaland? I mean, we had one goal here from Silva, but that's what's gonna happen.
Bernardo, our captain.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen consistently. We have no goal scorers other than Haaland. Like that's a big problem. If Haaland needs rest, we can't even rest him comfortably. Now Marmoush was on the bench. He came on late. He looked fine when he came on, but I'm a bit annoyed that he came on so late.
I am too. Yeah, that is a big issue, I think, as well. And because we need to get him back into shape, because if Haaland is already getting tired now, we need Marmoush to like get some minutes in the legs. I think Marmoush is definitely going to start and play the full 90 against Swansea. Oh, Athletic just took the lead. Is that what you just said? Or you said they were tied?
Yeah, they were drawing, but
I just turned the game on, and the second I turned it on, I see hugs. I see red hugs. But no, we need to get Marmoush. Like, I was surprised that Marmoush didn't come on in the Everton game for a few minutes. And then I was really surprised he only played like 5 minutes yesterday. But I guess Pep is just being really delicate with it. But we really need to get him 20, 30 minutes at Villa if we can. I don't know how tight of a game that's going to be. And he has to play the full 90 against Swansea because we really need him ready to get his minutes up. Because one, he can take the scoring burden off of Haaland. And then if, God forbid, something happens to Haaland, then he's fit. So that has to be a priority for Pep. And I was really surprised it was only 5 minutes yesterday.
Yeah, and I think we can say the same thing about Ryan Cherki, who I think came on much too late, to be honest. I wanted to see Cherki play together with Haaland, actually.
Yeah, we will. I think they're being delicate with that one because there were those quotes in the media a couple of weeks ago about Pep saying that, like, if Cherki re-injured himself, it would require surgery. So I think they're just trying to be delicate. And I think we just have to be patient. We can just I think, you know, he will start. Turkey is another one I'm predicting to start that Swansea game specifically just to get minutes into his legs so that he can be a part of. I think we're all just really excited for him and we want to just jump the gun. But I really think by the end of the season, he's gonna be a starter. We just have to get to that point. And I know we're all, like I said, we're all very excited and we love what we've seen, but we have to try to be patient.
Yeah. Anyhow, I'm going to quickly go downstairs. I'll be right back, but I'll leave you to talk about right now. Nico Gonzalez, before I go, I actually think he was man of the match. I think he played really well. I didn't see a lot of people praising. He was man of the first half, should I say. Second half, he didn't have a chance to do anything, did he? Fuck that guy that plays for them, by the way. I won't say the name, but you know who I'm talking about. Yeah, that guy. Okay. Screw him. That's the second time he does that.
I can glaze Nico Gonzalez for a few minutes while you go downstairs. Don't worry about it.
But that's the second time he's done that, by the way.
Yeah, he's a man on a mission to eliminate all of our DMs. What's this guy's problem?
But bro, I mean,
is he jealous that Rodri won the Ballon d'Or over him? And people are like, well, when they were together in Atletico or wherever, was Atletico? Yeah.
Hey, maybe that's so.
Captain Scumbag he was the better one. That's what let's call him Captain Scumbag. And if you want to know why people
benched, he got benched at the end of that season, though. Because at the end of that season at Atletico, he did get benched for Rodri. He started out ahead of Rodri, but at the end of that season, he got benched for Rodri. So maybe he hates Rodri. You never know. Anyhow, I'll quickly go downstairs. I'll let you rant on Nico.
Glaze. Yeah, I'll admit I did not watch that season at Atletico. I don't really care about La Liga, but we all know Rodri's the better player, and a personal scumbag decided to ruin his career potentially. But Nico Gonzalez, man, he's been great. I think sometimes the biggest compliment I can give to Nico G is that I don't notice him when he's playing, and when Rodri is in his best form, or even just his average form, a lot of times you don't notice him on the pitch. You don't notice exactly what he's doing. And the impact is when he's not on the pitch, you're like, oh, I miss all that. But Nico G is doing a lot of that. Like he's an 8, and I think he's been working really hard on his off-ball actions and movements and where he's supposed to be. And he's improving like dramatically. And I think this run of games is really helping him to find his form and to click. Because if it was just chop and change, like it was kind of the beginning of the season, you could see his form was a little consistent. I know he did struggle in that Spurs game pretty dramatically, but I think the setup for that game was just all wrong. That midfield didn't support him whatsoever. So we'll just blame Pep for that. But no, he's improved dramatically game by game. Now he's starting to slowly add the going forward part. You can see some of the long balls. You can see some of the more accurate passings. Like kind of at the beginning of the season, I would say he was more. He's kind of his passing was a little safer because maybe he just wasn't confident in himself yet, and he was kind of I wouldn't say it was like just strictly going like straight backwards and sideways and stuff, but you can see now he's kind of evolving past that. He's slowly starting to get the long balls, and he's slowly starting to get quicker with the ball. And he's starting to form little triangles at times with people. And that's like, if you want to see the difference between Nico G and Rodri, go watch that Brentford game and like what Rodri does. And like, we're not going to expect Nico G to be Rodri. I know I'm not, but he'll get better at that. He'll get more confident. He'll never be Rodri, but he could still be a damn good player for us. And he's proven his worth. And we looked dramatically different when he came off the pitch. And that's another high compliment you give to him. Like, I know Mateo Kovacic is coming back from injury, but we looked very wide open in the middle of the pitch when Nico G came off. The good news is I saw the quotes from Pep about Nico G and this little injury that he had. Apparently it's just a knock. So I think he'll be okay for the Aston Villa game. I really hope so, because that's going to be that's going to be a test to see where Nico G is. Pep has already said Rodri's not going to play that game. So it will be Nico G's, assuming that this is just a knock. I think we'll find out soon. We'll probably start seeing some training photos. Maybe not today, but I think they just got back. I don't know. City Extra does a plane tracker and all that stuff. So apparently they've landed. So I would expect they don't really train today. Or if they do train, isn't it mostly just like a cool down day or something? I don't know. But yeah, that's going to be a tough midfield against Aston Villa. I think it'll be Onana. He's their DM. So that guy's very physical and very fast. So we'll see what Nico G does. But there was a really cool article on Data MB. I retweeted it. This is Alfie's stream, so I don't know how to share my screen or anything. So maybe when he comes back, we can have him pull up the tweet. But this tweet was pretty interesting. It was showing that Nico G against Premier League midfielders per 90 is actually doing very well. Like he's winning a lot of his aerial duels. His pass completion is very high. His long balls are up there with like the best of the Premier League midfielders. So it's just great to see, man. You could tell he's putting in the work, and Pep is putting in the work with him. Pep doesn't pay attention to people if he doesn't believe in them or have any kind of faith in them. He'll just be like, yeah, you're Calvin Phillips, go sit on the bench. But you can tell he's believing in Nico G. He's giving him the lessons after the game, because everyone freaked out after the Huddersfield game. Like, what are they talking about? What are they talking about? And it turns out he was just getting a lesson, and then he applied the lesson to the next game, and he did very well. So I'm very happy with Nico G.
Yeah.
That's a very long, winded rant right there. I need some water after that.
There's a lot of people who I see, and they say a lot of things about Nico. And not just Nico, by the way, but right now focusing on Nico. He can't play with his back to play. Well, that's just wrong.
Oh, yeah.
That's just something. That's just something they invented for, I don't know, 2-3 weeks or more, 2-3 months. But that came out of nowhere. I never thought that. And now nobody's saying it anymore. He's defensively not very solid. I mean, he's had poor games, but overall he's been very solid defensively, so I think that's nonsense. People talking about him going forward, well, he's a DM. Shocker. He's not going to score 20 goals a game. That's the winger's their job, not his job. So a lot of people make excuses why he is not good enough. And I think the reason why they do that is because they want to understand why he didn't play last season. Honestly, maybe it's as simple as Pep didn't want to play him last season because because
Gundogan.
Kovacic and Gundogan were playing
yeah.
well. Maybe it's just Kovacic and Gundogan were playing well, and you don't want to fix what isn't broken. Maybe that's why.
I forgot this is Aymeric Laporte's team. Shout out Laporte. Laporte Hub. Remember that one? Twitter. Anyway, also back to Nico G. The person who said that stuff about back to goal, I have asked him if he's improved on that, and he said yes. So opinions get you. Oh, Alfie went to go get food.
Yeah. When was he ever bored on that? I generally don't get. He's lost the ball a few times with his back to goal, or with his back.
Henry does that too, though.
But
remember the Spurs game in the treble season, Harry Kane.
Yeah, Rodri has done that too.
Also, I think against United, didn't Casemiro pick his pocket and score a goal, or gave it to Bruno Fernandes? Maybe I'm confusing a different game. I know it happened at the Spurs Stadium though when we lost 1-0.
No, I think it happened in the Champions League final as well with Rodri, didn't it? He lost it once, and isn't that when the ball went with Lautaro out? No, that was because of Akanji.
No, that was because of Akanji.
Yeah.
I think somebody passed the ball back to Akanji, and then Akanji was napping, and Lautaro just blew past. So that was maybe Rodri did the pass, but Akanji was the one who messed that chance up completely because he was just napping and he wasn't even paying attention. He just decided to casually jog. And I remember Ederson after that, he was like, "God damn it."
Yeah.
he was like,
I think it's ridiculous, though. Either way, I think it's ridiculous the way people talk about Nico. I think he's been good. He's had a few poor games, but I mean, so has Messi. What does that even mean? Overall, he's been positive, I think. Zordel says, I'd bench Diaz, play Husanov and Josko, and Nunez at right back. We need pace in the back.
Against Villa?
I think he means in general. I think he just means the usual lineup. What do you think about that? Because this is what I mean. Nunez is playing all right now against terrible wingers like Buchanan and whoever Everton had. But the moment he plays against a good winger, he's going to get destroyed. So
yeah,
he looks good now, but he's not good.
Yeah, I think you'll eventually, like, it might take a couple of years. I think eventually our final center back partnership will be Josko and Husanov. The problem is we just gave Diaz a contract extension, and he's one of our captains. And he's one of Pep's favorites. So Diaz will be starting, but at the same time, I think Diaz's form has improved quite a bit this season. I think a lot of that has to do with Josko, but another big factor is Donnarumma. The two of them seem to have developed some chemistry together. Like they seem to help each other get the ball to each other and stuff like that. But I think you'll start to see some Husanov Vardiel games, maybe in cup games towards the end of the season. You know, long term, we'll probably see something like that. But right now, I would just brace yourself for Diaz to be starting most games just because, like I said, he's in his prime. He's 28 years old. This is like, these are going to be his best years, like 28, 29. And he's captain of this team, and he's on a big money contract. He's not going to be benched.
Yeah, I mean that is a bit of the pragmatic way to look at it, but it's a more interesting way.
And also, he's Pep's favorite. He's one of those names. He's always on the team sheet, unless he's injured.
Is he Pep's friend?
Oh, do they love each other? Did you see that quote?
Oh God.
I saw that on City Extra and I just commented like, yeah, we know.
Hey,
there were some wild responses on that one.
Oh, dude. But I mean, if we're talking about the game as a whole, I mean, in this game it worked, and that's fine. And listen, I think we played an okay game. I see a lot of people panic about the game. I think we played good. We were 2-0 up. We were never uncomfortable. We always set the ball. We created chances. This game was not bad. Savio gets overrated over this game, but we'll get there. But I think people panic too much, and I get it. I just said earlier, I want Josko to be playing as a centre back, not as a left back. that doesn't mean we played a terrible game. Yeah, in the second half, because you said this earlier, he played some poor passes. True. But look at the majority of possession we've lost. It's just been silly passes for half of that game in second half. I think that's more emblematic of a grander issue at the club, and that's a lack of focus sometimes when we're winning.
Yeah, that's something. Yeah, that was a big problem last season too. Because remember, this time last season, we might have blown that lead again or given up a goal. But I think you kind of have to relearn that with some of these players. I think that's just the fact of the matter. Because like we're saying, Yashko had a bunch of poor passes. Well, he's still a young player. I consider him to be experienced, but that just shows another level he has to go to become like a very elite player, is to not lose his focus and to not keep giving the ball away.
I'm just gonna say, Josko and I are the same age, so he is young. I'm just gonna have to point that out. Josko is young because I'm the same age as him. And if Josko was 1 year older than
I'm way older than both of you.
If Josko was 1 year older than me, I'd say he isn't young. But because he's the same age as me, I have to say that he is young. Big up to Martin, by the way, in chat.
Hey, Martin. Don't worry, we're glazing John Stones.
Pep said something similar about Husanov's injury. I've not actually seen any statements on Husanov's injury. Do you know what that's about?
No, I haven't really been on Twitter that much. I was cooking earlier.
Oh, I've been on Twitter, but it's been chess Twitter. Big drama in chess world.
I heard there was somebody from the Bay Area, which is where I used to live. A master died. Only 29. That's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to talk about it too much yet, but Danya, big up to him. Very sad. It's actually just sad if you look into the story.
Oh, what a
because Danya's idol growing up was Vladimir Kramnik. And Vladimir Kramnik basically bullied Danya into committing suicide. His own idol. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? It's such a sad story, and he's still trying to defend himself, Kramnik, on Twitter, constantly making posts. It's actually insane.
I'll just say I saw the story and I was like, "Ooh, Alfie." I was like, "Should I tag him?" But I was like, "Nah, he'll probably know." So you now, whenever I see anything chess related, I'm like, "Alfie."
I will know.
You probably knew 2 hours before I did.
I probably knew days before you did, to be fair.
Yeah.
Rushing Haaland on against Swansea will be massive. But if we need Haaland for Swansea, then I'm gonna panic.
I don't know, man. If we want to pad his stats, though, got to give him that Ballon d'Or. Let's go for Messi's goal total, right?
You know what the thing is, yeah?
24 goals, 24 goals now in the season. What's the record is 91. Come on, we could do it, Haaland.
But you know what the thing is, yeah?
He should have played against Huddersfield. He would have had 6 goals in that game. Come on.
People are saying Haaland can't win the Ballon d'Or because it's a World Cup year. They're forgetting Modric. This guy can stink his way to a quarter-final, win something.
They got to a final that year.
Yeah, but they had better players at that time.
Yeah, that was their prime era, and I was so sad they lost that final.
If Norway get to a quarter-final and Haaland scores a few goals, he's gonna beat the golden guy who brought Norway from nowhere to the quarterfinal, and he scored all these goals for City and in the Champions League and yada yada. He's going to win the Ballon d'Or. I'm gonna say it right now. If Haaland does not get injured, he's pissing the Ballon d'Or. I genuinely believe that. The only way it's not Haaland winning it is the only way Haaland doesn't win it, in my opinion, is if England wins it.
Oh, Harry Kane. See, the thing is, though, if Norway get a good draw, I know they're changing the format and they have like new teams or 48 teams or something. I don't know exactly what the format's going to be yet, but if Norway get a good draw, and let's say Haaland scores in the group stage, let's say they advance in the group stage, whether it's first or second or however. Let's say he gets 6 to 8 goals in the group stage, which, depending on the draw, is possible. There's a lot of really bad teams in there. Like the conference USA is in, CONCACAF is just full of farmers. So if they get a CONCACAF team, he could easily hat trick 4 or 5 goals in one game. Like they're not good teams. And then let's say let's say they win their R16 game, like you said, get to the quarterfinals. Let's say he scores a goal or 2 in the game to get them there. So if he gets 6 to 8 goals in the tournament, that's going to massively boost his Ballon d'Or, even if they only make it to like R16 or quarterfinals, like you said. And if they can somehow scam their way to a semifinal, like, yeah, game on.
To explain
Ballon d'Or is on.
format, by the way, it's 48 teams, 12 groups, so that's 4 teams every group, and
okay, so same format.
It's like the Euros. It's like the Euros.
Oh, well, you have to qualify in. Yeah.
The best teams that finish third can go through, so you don't even have to finish top 2. That boosts his chances
dramatically. Yeah,
yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So let's say 6 to 8 goals in the World Cup because he could play 4 to 5 games. Yeah, game on. Ballon d'Or is on. He's coming for because if he scores 6 to 8 goals, that could win him the Golden Boot in the tournament, despite even if other teams go further along, because he's such an elite goal scorer. Because I think Mbappe won it the last World Cup when he had what did he have, like, what did he have, 8 goals, something like that, 8 or 9, I don't remember.
I think he had 7.
Okay, 7, yeah, and 3 of those came in the final.
2 of those were penalties.
Well, hey, Erling Haaland at least gets penalties for Norway. And he's proved he misses a few of them too, but he's gotten 0 for his City. The refs ain't giving us any pens this year. Jeremy Doku, you need to learn how to dive. You need to fall down a few times in the box. We got to get him on. We need some cheap pens.
Yeah, we're not paying the referees enough. Like, we have all this money, but we're not paying the referees enough. Like, come on, City needs to fix up there. I'll need some brown envelopes.
We need to pay off the refs, and then I'm telling you, Doku, you need to fall down a few more times. Like, come on, man. They're constantly throwing you to the ground, or they're constantly pushing and bullying you. Like yesterday, they just threw him to the ground. They just weren't doing it inside the box. But I'm like, come on, man. That's kind of where we miss Jack Grealish. He would get a lot of pens. Because Mbappe and Kane right now each have 6 pens just for their clubs. But also, the league hates City, and the La Liga, is. You want to talk about a love affair, La Liga and Real Madrid, and then Bundesliga and Bayern Munich.
But
our league is trying to dissolve us as a club, so we're not getting any pens.
Yeah. By the way, I'm not quite sure what Martin means here. He says Savio is younger than Bob 10. He says it with an emoji, so I think he's joking, but I'm not quite sure what he means. He said that
a few times.
Yeah,
it's factual. It's factual. Oscar Bob is 22 and Savinho is 21. That's just a fact. But we could also say that Savinho might have a little more experience at the top flight. He's had a full season in La Liga, and then he had a full season at Manchester City. Whereas Oscar Bob is older, but he doesn't. He doesn't even have a full season at City because.
Yeah, but I don't get the point.
I think he's saying if we're going to be patient with Oscar Bob. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm speaking for you, Martin, but this is my interpretation of what you're saying. Is that if we're going to, we have to be patient with Oscar Bob, or if we're saying be patient with Oscar Bob, then we have to say the same thing about Savinho because he's a younger player. I think that's what he's saying. I'm not sure if I am. You can clarify in the comments, Martin.
I mean, if that's a take, and I'm assuming that Martin will clarify, but if that's a take, Oscar Bob hasn't had a full season, so that's the big disagreeing point for me. Now, on Savio, let's talk on Savio before we go over to the other side of the pitch.
You're just getting warmed up for that one, aren't you?
I don't mind us keeping Savio. I've said this before. The problem is we had an offer for £70 million. I don't see how we don't accept that offer. I don't see the talent in Savinho to turn down an offer that big when with that money we could have gone and bought an experienced Premier League winger. And I said Semenyo, by the way, in the summer. I got cooked for that. But look at that. He scored 6 goals already.
Now he's linked to Liverpool for $100 million in January. Just what they need. Another forward. That'll fix their problems at the back.
What they need to do is drop Isak. To be honest, they need to play Gakpo and Salah. They need to drop Salah as well. If I'm being honest,
Ekatike's been a better player for them, and his reward was being benched. I don't get it.
They never.
This is where politics comes into it, because they spent the big money on, they set a Premier League spending record on Isak, so they're feeling pressured to play him. And you hear Liverpool fans too. They said, "Look, I need this guy to win the league. I need him to bag me like 50 goals or whatever, or 30 goals. Maybe not 50. That was 15, 20 goals, something like that. They're like, I need to get him fit, so I need to play him even though he's shit." Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, price tags are coming into this. But I think also maybe something, I just thought of this while you were talking about it. Maybe Martin also meant that about the Savinho thing is that maybe he's saying that we're being a little hard. Again, I'm sorry if I'm misinterpreting the comments, Martin. I apologize. But maybe he's saying that we're judging Savinho a little bit for the summertime stuff instead of on the pitch stuff. And so we're giving Oscar Bob more of a, or like we're giving him more of a chance because there was no drama associated with him. And maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong on that. Sorry if I'm misinterpreting you, Martin.
By the way, Martin put in another commentator. I'll get to that in a second. But my point is, it's fine to have Savio. It's fine to have Bob. It's fine to have Doku. I mean, if he can actually keep up for 10 games for once. But I digress. It's fine to have these young players, but you need to have an experienced player in that position too. I want Yumaba. But that's a young player. But it's fine to have Yumaba because you've got Diaz and Guardiola.
And this season you have Stones and Ake too. I don't know. I mean, I guess the theory is you'd bring Ba and one of them would leave, but you'd still have one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. That was my point. You still have those experienced players in that same position.
And Yashko, when are we going to start calling him experienced? He's been playing first club football for like Champions League football since he was a teenager. He went with his country, got a third place medal at a World Cup when he was 19. He's been playing in the Champions League, for 5 straight seasons. He's been playing he's on a title winning team. He's got, when do we start considering him to be experienced?
Is Yamal inexperienced?
Yamal, Pedri, Gavi, Kubarsi, like they're all young and they're starting Champions League games and stuff. And also the thing about Juma Ba is I don't think any of us are saying throw him straight into the lineup. I think we're saying use him as the 4th or 5th center back, give him minutes in cup games, let him learn next to one of the experienced players. You would never just throw like a Juma Ba and a Victor Hayes into a game together unless we're at DEFCON 5 and we have nobody healthy. But like when we say we want to integrate that, like what we're doing with Husanov right now, maybe some of us wanted to do that with 2 players instead of just 1. But it seems like that's the plan next season for Victor Hayes. And then next season we could consider Husanov experienced because he'll have a full season under his belt. And, and he's not even going to start every game either. He's just going to, he's still, right now he's in and out between, right now he's playing as a right back. I don't think that'll be the case forever, but maybe Juma Ba will have to, or Victor Hayes will have to play as a right back in some games or whatever. But, I think them being around these experienced defenders, learning from them in a game, because we did that last season in the Cup. Remember the Leighton Orient game? It was Diaz and Victor Hayes, and then second half it was Husanov, or maybe it was the reverse. But at one point in that game, it was Stones and Husanov, and then the other half of the game it was Diaz and Victor Hayes. And so like that's how you want to like bring them into the team. Yeah, nobody's saying throw Juma Ba into the game at the Bernabeu.
I mean, it worked for Husanov, but no, we're not saying that.
And Nico G went, and Nico G had to do that too.
Yeah, by the way, I've no problem with the way we're doing that with centre backs. So the way we're doing it with the centre backs, okay, fine, I don't mind. We don't have a right back, but I digress. I don't mind. The wingers, we're doing completely the opposite. It's all youngsters and enjoy. And you can't criticize them because they're young. Okay, great, they're young. We can't criticize them. Let's get someone who's experienced. No, we can't because we've got 3 of them. I mean, Sherky, we bought him. He's not exactly experienced, is he? He's never played in the Premier League. as well.
He's not experienced in the Premier League, but he's been a first teamer since he was like 16 or 17. He has a lot of seasons under his belt, and he's kind of been on a bad team. So there's a lot of adversity that he's kind of gone through. So that gives you some sort of experience. Like what Victor Hayes is experiencing right now in Girona is going to give him a lot of experience to deal with. He'll have that next season like in his belt. He'll have faced really like traumatic adversity. And so when he comes back to the Premier League, he can lean on that. When he's struggling in the Premier League, he'll remember, I struggled with that in another league, and I'll know how to deal with the situation a little bit better.
Again, is this guy a 10? Is he a right winger? I mean, that's the debate right now. Some people want him to be a false 9. I don't get what you're saying, but okay. So, is he experienced in the Premier League? Not really. Is he great? Sure. But all of these players, come on, all your wingers are inexperienced. Marmoush, he's out left winger. Oh, no, people don't like Marmoush.
He's not a winger.
That's the problem I have. Yeah. It's not any one particular winger. It's the fact that it's all of them at the same time.
Yeah. That and that's on the club. That's on the club. They didn't plan that well enough. Or they were just hoping that the experience would be players who aren't actually wingers. I think you just have to blame the club. And we had the summer to fix it. We didn't. We decided to keep the young, inexperienced players. And I know DOKU had a purple patch in October, but he's kind of reverting back to what he was last season. And
factory settings.
Yeah. And Savinho started out pretty poorly. I thought he had a good game yesterday. I'll leave it just as yesterday. I'll leave it as he had a good game yesterday, and I'll praise him for yesterday. But now it's up to him to replicate that the next time he plays. And he might not, because again, he's young. He's going to be inconsistent, but that's the expectation is if you show us in one game, you have to show us in the next game. And then you have to show us in the next game. And then you have to show us in the next game. And that's how you grow and get better. It would be nice, like you said, if they had an experienced person to rely on to kind of help them out in training or on the pitch to just a little bit more leadership, maybe encouraging them to, just keep going if they're struggling in a game.
Yeah, so Martin says here as well, the new World Cup format is BS. Now, I don't much like the new World Cup format, to be completely honest. But people said the same thing in 1962 when they played the 32-team World Cup format for the first time. I believe that's 1962. So, I mean, the World Cup format...
I wasn't even born then.
The World Cup format has changed a lot throughout history. So I feel like, I don't like the new format, but then I'm sitting there thinking, is that a me issue? Am I being the grumpy old guy now? Well, I'm not old yet, but people don't like change. People don't like change. No, 1962, it was straight to quarterfinal. You had the group stage straight to quarterfinal. So,
interesting, yeah.
Yeah, so the World Cup has changed a lot. I believe way back in the early days, it was group stage and then straight into semi-final. The first time that you had a 32-team World Cup is not 1966, by the way. The one England won was also not 32 teams. That was 16 teams. Voila, 1970, still not 32 teams. When the fuck did they introduce?
Was it 90? I don't think it was 94. I hope not.
Well, I'm at 74 now.
Oh, you're just going through them all. All I know is I'm going to be spending a lot of money on World Cup tickets next year. They're ridiculously expensive.
What the fuck was the 1974 World Cup? The 1974 World Cup.
I just remember it because it was in America. I was a young kid. I vaguely remember it. I didn't watch any of it though, because
the 1974 World Cup had 2 group stages.
Oh.
And you know how it went? The winners of the group stages went into a separate group stage. And the winner and the runner-up of the group stage played the final.
Like the final of the tournament?
Yeah, that is.
They just skipped the knockout route? What?
Yeah, there was no knockout in that.
Well, I'll put an asterisk on whoever won that title. Wow, that is very convoluted. I don't. What?
Yeah, that also made no sense. So I'm now
that
at
sounds like a video game.
I'm now at 1978, and by the way, 1978 was also played with that exact same system as 1974.
Yikes! This is why Americans hate that sport. No. We saw this shit and we're like, nope.
1982, exact same for wow. The first 32 team World Cup is 1986, Diego Maradona's year.
Right after I was born.
1986 is the first one. So I agree, I don't like the format much, but I feel like that's just people are unable to move on, I think, sometimes. If you grow up on the new format, I bet it's your favorite. But we just
I
didn't
have no
grow up
memory
on
of the
it.
1986 World Cup. I'll just say that. I was in diaper. I was a baby.
The only memories I have is YouTube. Looking it up in lockdown. You have to do something.
I started watching in 2006. That's when I started watching football. The first game I ever watched was USA-Italy in the 2006 World Cup. And USA got a draw in that game. And then I didn't watch a single. I was just like, I got to watch USA. And I was still in this time zone, but the game was on at like a favorable time for, like, I think the game was on at like 8 or 10 in the morning or something like that. And so I was able to watch it. And then I didn't watch a single game the rest of the tournament.
By the way, Martin makes a great point here as well. The argument of age comes out for certain players, but not others. That's what you call an agenda. If someone uses the argument of they're this old, they have an agenda in favor of that person. If someone is telling you Bob is only 22, I believe, they have an agenda. Let's be honest, they have a pro-Bob agenda. If you say, well, Bob has not been given a proper chance, he's not had a full season, that's a solid argument. If you say he's only 22, well, Jamal is only 17. That is a moot argument, isn't it?
Yeah. I think you got to judge it on experience. Because like we said, Joško's 23, but he has so much more experience than Oscar Bob, who's a similar age. Like we said, Joško's been playing for his club in his country since he was, 17, 18 or whatever, because he was at Dinamo Zagreb, and then he went to Leipzig where he was starting all those games, and then he started all those games for Croatia in a World Cup semifinal, as a teenager. So age isn't an issue for him, but Oscar Bob, I know he starts for Norway, but he just has missed a lot of club football. Part of it because he didn't get called up to the first team till he was 20, because he was in the EDS I think for a couple of seasons, and then he got called up to the first team, and then he barely played that season, and then he got injured last year, which is just a shame.
And I think
he was ready to break out last season.
I might be mistaking Bob for someone else, but I believe Bob broke through later because he had an injury when he was coming through the EDS as well, if I remember that correctly.
Also, he was in Portugal wasn't he in Portugal for a little, when he was 15, 16 or something? So he might have just come to City late too.
No, I think he was at
wrong.
City.
Maybe Martin knows more about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Martin will keep. We're just spreading misinformation. Oh. Kelkster is lagging out right now. Can you hear me?
Okay.
I think the internet's just died. There she goes. Oh, she's back. 1 second. Yeah, she's mad lagging out right now. Oh, she's gone again. There we go. And she's back. Let's see. Can we get another round? Yeah, okay, fair enough.
I don't know.
Yeah, you were frozen, and I was hearing your voice like a robot just coming through here and there.
Oh. Like someone on our space last night was in robot mode.
I wasn't
space
on the
last night,
space, so
Martin.
I don't know.
Oh, Martin did his farewell space, and it was pretty awesome. We had a massive section talking about like nerd movies.
Hey, derailing the subjects. That's what we do as well.
No, we gotta wait. We gotta wait. I know you want your Doku segment, so we'll wait to derail until after you can cook Doku.
Interested and making offers are worlds apart. Not really, because they said they will refuse the offer if it came in. Apparently it's called Dune, or is it?
Soriano,
was it called Dune, or was it Soriano? I don't care. I don't care who rejected it or who said that we're going to reject it. It's semantics, because if they did put in the offer, we would have rejected it. The club was clear on that. So I think that's more semantics than anything. Yes, Josko is experienced, says Martin. Spot on. Some wanted Etcheverry, Ba, Vitor Hayes, Husanov, Bob, all in, and that's something Brighton do, not us.
I don't think people wanted all of them to start at the same time. I think they wanted them in the team, and then you play them like one at a time or two at a time, unless it's a cup game. Like, yeah, you play them all against Huddersfield or maybe at Swansea, but like you're not going to roll into Anfield and play Etcheverry, Juma, Ba, Hayes, and Husanov. Like nobody. I don't think anybody was suggesting that. I just think they wanted. We had the crisis when Foden and Turkey were out, and they were like, well, we could have had Etcheverry there for that, but I don't know. I think it's clear Etcheverry made the wrong choice by going to Leverkusen. I know he started yesterday's game, but he made a big mistake. He got advised incorrectly on that one. He'd be starting every game at Girona. I know it wouldn't be a fun season for him, but he'd at least be playing. Just like Victor Hayes is. And it seems like Victor Hayes is, I mean, I've only watched like one Girona game, so I haven't really, I'm going to try to watch some more because particularly the person I do a lot of watch alongs with has set up a Girona one. So I'm going to try to watch some more of those.
He can still go. He can still go in January to Girona.
Yeah, I think if he wants to make that World Cup for Argentina, he's going to have to. And I don't. He'd probably be playing the similar amount of time at City if he had stayed as he is at Leverkusen. So Girona is always the best spot. But Etcheverry, honestly, I don't think he's going to make it at City. He's the one where I'm like, nah, I just don't think he's good. He just looks like he's just ready to fuck off. So I don't really. I don't see him as.
We
have Ryan Turkey, so and. To be fair, Oscar Bob is a midfielder too. Like I know. I'm not sure what Oscar Bob's future is, but like we seem to be pushing him on the wing. But if we buy an experienced winger, like you could see Bob maybe playing as a 10, because then eventually you can move Foden back to an 8, because like that's where he's like fantastic when you play that 2-8 system, like him and Tijani or whatever. And if you needed a 10, maybe it could be Oscar Bob and Ryan Turkey in the future. We got options, we got plans, we got ideas.
Now, you talked about fucking off earlier, so I've got someone who I'm very close to just saying to fuck off. I'm very close at this point.
I hope it's not Martin. No, big up Martin.
No, big up to Martin. Jeremy Doku.
Oh,
Honest to God. Plays a purple patch for 5 games. I'm being generous with 5 games. And his fan base is back in love. Listen, he was good in those 5 games. I gave him high praise in those 5 games. But I said each time, let's see where we're at in December. Well, we're not even end of October yet. And I'm sitting here thinking, purple patch done. Yep, it's wraps. This is the player we've got. He's not young. He's 23. He's not inexperienced. He's played 2 full seasons at, was it Monaco?
Under Pep. No. Yeah, under Pep. Yeah, 2 full seasons. He's in his 3rd season, so we have
No. He's played 2 full seasons in Ligue 1 already.
Oh, yeah.
And now
and then plays 2 seasons at City, too.
Yeah, this is his 3rd season. This is his 5th full season. He played at Anderlecht. Okay, it's not the same, I know. But he played at Anderlecht. He's played a lot of football. He is an experienced 23-year-old whose final product I'm still not happy with. Yes, he had a good few games, but let's talk about a good season. Can we have a good season? That's what we need from him.
Oh, they put Ekatike back in. Oh my God, they're doing Ekatike and Isak. Wow. Oof.
Oh, it's Liverpool playing today.
Yeah, Liverpool's about to start. They're doing. I put that on in the background.
Oh yeah, against Frankfurt. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Imagine if Frankfurt win.
Oh, dude.
How many losses in a row does Liverpool have now?
4. And you know what? Just like it did for us last season, it all started with beating Southampton. You beat Southampton, and that's just the harbinger of doom.
It's like a poisoned pawn in chess. Are you familiar with the concept of a poisoned pawn?
I am not. My only experience with chess is watching the Queen's Gambit.
Fair enough. So
that's literally it.
The concept of a poisoned pawn is you have a pawn. In fact, I have a board over here. You have a pawn and you capture it with a piece. Let's say you captured my pawn with your rook. But now I can move, let's say, my knight, and your rook is stuck. You can't get anywhere. You lose your rook. So now you've lost your rook for a knight and a pawn. And generally speaking, you'd say a rook is worth about 2 pawns and a knight. So that's the concept of a poisoned pawn. You take something, but in taking that, you lose more. And I mean, you take a pawn specifically. And in doing that, you lose more. So I think that's what Southampton is. They're a poisoned pawn. Really annoying football club, aren't they?
They've been a bogey team for us too. St. Mary's has always been a tough away game for us. Remember our terrible Carabao Cup performance in the treble season? We could have won a quad that season.
To be fair, I don't think we would have won the quad if we beat them.
No, probably not.
I think that we won the treble because we lost to them, to be honest. But that's entirely different subject. Maybe we would have won the quad. Nobody knows.
Has got the hook. Vert, Jones, Sabazlai in the midfield. Oh, sorry. Distraction. Liverpool hate watch has begun. Yeah, Mo Salah got benched in that game. That's the big one. Mo Salah bench. Ekatike is on the right. Oh, boy. I wonder if Ekatike has some hiccups because it's on stopping ground. Sometimes it could do that. I don't know. You just never know.
Anyhow.
I hope you, man. Oh, man. The content, dude. There are certain Liverpool content creators.
Bro,
imagine the meltdown.
I need to get on European Heavyweight show again with Zeer. Big up to him. I already accepted an invitation for Thursday, tomorrow. Bro, I hope that Liverpool fan is there because he's been talking a lot of talk, basically. I need a humbling there. Liverpool fans, yeah? Yikes, how does it feel?
Hey man, 100 million doesn't buy what it used to, man. It used to buy trophy winners, but
now it's buys you too.
I mean, Jack Grealish won plenty of trophies. Caicedo and Enzo are starting to pick up a few trophies, but we got a couple of outliers who ain't winning any. Declan Rice, what?
Declan Rice won trophies before being sold.
Oh, there's those memes. They're like, "This is the last trophy Declan Rice will win." It was a Conference League.
And
I was in a group chat. We had an argument about this. Somebody was like, "Well, don't be surprised if when Pep leaves, Mikel Arteta." I was like, no. They've been to 0 finals since 2020. That is unacceptable. We were not good last season, and we still made a cup final. Mikel Arteta now has a super squad, and he's made 0 finals. He had a great team last year. 0 finals. Can't even make a final. I'm not even saying win the final. Get to the final. He can't even do that. Guy's overrated. I can't deal with it. So I got you. We talked about purple patch. Arsenal on their purple patch right now. You know, all we have to do is wait. Just like every year. Just wait.
You know what, this year? He's not going to keep it up. That's the problem. With DOKU. We need to sell this
purple
guy.
Patches. Yeah, even when we were having that purple patch earlier, I was just like, I think he's the one we're going to sell next season. I really do. Because even with Savinho wasn't like, yeah, I know he has a big issue in front of goal, but Savinho is creating chances and he's providing assists. Like last season when he was on the left, I think he had like 5, 6 or 7 assists just to Haaland himself, but he was racking up the assists. And I think I'm going to start judging Savinho more on assists this season. And I could even say the same thing about Doku. I'll judge our wingers more on their assist numbers, not necessarily their goal numbers.
You can have different roles, but if your role involves you getting into scoring positions, then you have to score.
There's something going around the team because everyone's getting into scoring positions, but the only one scoring them is Haaland because Tijani's getting into scoring position, can't find the back of the net. Foden's getting into, he's missed a couple of cookies. Doku and Savinho, they're getting into position, they can't score. Like that's a lot of players. So I mean, it's a good thing we're still creating chances and.
But the problem is also the quality of chances. It's one thing to create a chance, it's another thing to create a good chance. Yeah, Haaland scores goals, but Haaland makes it look easy. But like the chances he scores aren't always that easy.
Well, when it comes to Savinho, I'd rather him give the ball to Haaland because who do you want shooting a ball, Savinho or Haaland? I'm going Haaland 10 out of 10, yeah. Savinho, just get the ball to Haaland.
But Haaland isn't always going to be able to get onto the ball. Look at the game against Villarreal yesterday. Haaland had the ball sideways to Doku. Doku should have shot and scored.
I guess Haaland's trying to encourage people and get them involved. But
no, Haaland's couldn't do anything with that ball. The ball was going to go over his head. He was never going to get it on target. The only thing he could do was head it down and hope someone of our team gets onto it. He did that. Doku got onto it. Doku should have shot, scored. He didn't. He took a touch, walked wide, and then did nothing with the ball.
Well, like I was saying earlier, that's why you got to get Marmoush healthy or fit. Sorry, you got to get him game match fit as soon as possible because that's going to take a lot of pressure off of Haaland. And if the two wingers aren't delivering the numbers, bench him for a better player. We have a better player now. He's fit. He's back. He's back. So. Now we just have to get him match fit. And you saw at the beginning of the season, he struggled in the first 2 games because he wasn't match fit. And then he was starting to cook in that Brighton game a little bit, like a lot better than the first 2 games. And then he came off. I don't know why. I don't remember why we subbed him off. We subbed him off and then he got injured. So we haven't seen him since. So he might take him a couple of games. But like I said, that Swansea game is a 90-minute game for Marmoush for me. I know you normally wouldn't expect it, but he needs those minutes in his legs. And then start him at Bournemouth or against Bournemouth because that's at home. Like just get him back in the lineup.
Bayern München have already scored against Bruges. That took long.
Oh no! Oh, I guess we're not doing. I guess you're not doing a watch along.
We're still going off. Go over there in a minute. Jesus.
Yeah,
Christ.
we can go if you want to go do that. That's fine. Yeah, I see the. For 5 minutes.
But Lento
0-0 in the Frankfurt game. I can only watch half of it because I gotta go up to the lake in about an hour and a half.
Bubble job club. Hey, Rosa, allow it. Hey, it's Bayern at the end of the day. That's fucking annoying. That took long. Anyhow, we'll round up here now, so I can do that watch long and be miserable.
That's a whining Wednesday, so you can whine about Club Brugge because we didn't really whine about City today. Today was our happy clapper whining Wednesday.
There was some whining, but it was minimal. So to round up, Haaland is the GOAT. He's going to win the Ballon d'Or, and
Joshko is a center back. We're gonna round up with that. Joshko is a center back. No more left back.
Yes, center back. Joshko, please. Marmoush fit, please. Haaland is the GOAT. Thank you very much. We'll see you on the next one. Now it's redirecting to my own watch long, so stick in here, and I'll see you in literally 5 seconds.
All right.